I've been trying to figure out this new space, this new identity, this new purpose as a retiree. What does it mean? What does it mean to me, for me? The small things matter even more than ever. The things we overlooked and crammed in between, racing to work, to places, to people, to do things that seem so important. So now what? What's important? What's your value? Who are you? I don't understand this new place, this new how to be. That is the first entry in my journal a year after I retired. I had arrived after years of working. I had arrived reaching a milestone that so many people dream of. I knew I was ready. 55, check. 10 years vested, check. Over 25 years in the field, check. Maximum sick and vacation days, check and check. First eligible bonus, check. My neatly color-coded Excel spreadsheet, the visual representation of my left brain analytics, announced my retirement, the sum of 34 years of hard work and tears and hardships that led up to this moment. And then it happened, the party, with the parade of coworkers wishing you well. Some secretly and some not so secretly envying you for daring to step off the hamster wheel. The gifts, the beautiful gifts, and the flowers, and the trips down memory lane. Everything was sublime. A beautiful, wonderful next step to step into. Mondays were my favorite day now, where I could sleep in, lounge around, enjoy coffee on the deck, and even a leisurely second cup, while I read not emails, but anything I wanted to, really, online articles that caught my attention. What a great feeling not to have to do emails and sort them and prioritize them to figure out the work that would get things done. I dove into other projects. I started writing, and soon I had written not one, but 4 different chapters for 4 different anthologies. I was published. I did a few pop-up events and signed a few copies. Next, I looked at the house. It was definitely time to do some sprucing up. Stuff that I'd been meaning to do for so long, but never had the time nor the money. I hired a contractor, and soon we had new siding and new windows, along with central air. And heck, why not redo the deck while I was at it, a place where I spent time, now that I would be home so much more than before. My retired self and my work self did not look very different, and that seemed okay. It felt okay. Everything was okay, I thought. But the further away I moved from my retired life, from my work life into my retired life, something shifted, and that entry in my journal was just the first step to figuring out where I was, who I was, and what I was supposed to be doing now with all this time, free time that I had worked so hard to get. These questions tugged at me like that loose string in the sweater that comes completely unraveled if you tugged at it, and it did. Soon, I was completely engulfed by those questions. All day, every day. I had a sense of dread when I woke up in the morning. I would lay there, not wanting to start another day, of wondering and wandering and trying to make reason, to find reason and make sense of what I had become. Nothing. After all the years, after all the titles and credentials and positions like teacher, principal, coordinator, director, professor, I was now none of those things. Retired, nothing. I started listening to music to distract me from the negative voices in my head that were always saying, who cares and why bother? I kept reading, even if it was just to pass the time. I started writing in a journal because that was what you were supposed to do. I collected sayings, ideas, affirmations, and prayers, anything positive. I recited my affirmations every night before I went to sleep, hoping I would wake up with some profound new revelation. I would read them again in the morning, on the deck, coffee in hand, alone, and me still empty. When would this feeling go away? This deep disconnect with everything around me. When would this stop? Had I made a mistake? I was stuck in my very own sunken place with nothing but time, time, time. I was learning the hard way that the only way out is through. Robert Frost. And then it hit me. My retirement, my intentional choosing to rest, to slow down, to pass the baton, was only supporting myself. I was learning to take care of myself. As these thoughts took hold and crowded out the negative self-talk, I began to move forward. I planned brunch with my friends and enjoyed it. I accepted a few invitations to different events that I wanted to attend. I soon found part-time work and did some consulting on my own schedule. And sometimes I do just Netflix and chill. Growth happens in darkness, and I've definitely been in the darkness. And now I'm through that darkness, and I have grown. So much so that I want to help other women like me and coach them through their transition into retirement, because I realize that retirement isn't the end of growth. It's just the next phase of it. Thank you.